A gamer's backlog is their Mount Everest, and for achievement hunters, especially those who are using their original profile from before they started achievement hunting, that backlog is a stain on the catalog of completions they have racked up over the years. Today, I'm going to share with you those stains which I believe I can never remove from my profile. I should preface this video by saying that the games I will be discussing today will be games I could technically complete, which means any games with unobtainable achievements on my profile will not count in this discussion. And believe me, there are plenty of games I will never complete because their achievements are simply unobtainable now. But we won't talk about those. Maybe I'll discuss them in a future video, but today, let's talk about those completions that I honestly just don't think I'll ever have the patience to go for. Let's start with Guitar Hero 3. This game has an achievement titled Living Legends, and this achievement asks you to earn 5 stars on all co-op songs on Expert. That means you need to perform extremely well on all 44 songs while playing co-op. Not perfect, but extremely well to achieve a high score. And that leaves some nice room for error, but getting 5 stars on a song is not just a simple task. Both players may not need to play perfectly, but they need to play extremely well to get a high score while playing on Expert. You don't need to hit all of the notes, but damn, you better hit 99% of them. That type of stuff. I'd personally consider myself decent at rhythm games, but on Expert, this is a whole different beast. And you need to make sure your co-op player is just as good, if not better than you at the game. And the most difficult aspects of this game are the fact that you need to play locally to unlock this achievement, and the achievement will only unlock for the host profile. So depending on who I play with, I may need to commit to running things through a second time to ensure they also unlock the achievement for themselves. Oh, and I can't forget to mention that this game's difficulties do not stack. That means for me to complete only the cooperative achievements, I will need to make someone sit through 44 songs with me until we complete them with 5 stars on easy, medium, hard, and on expert. So all in total, we need to get 5 stars 176 times on varying difficulties. And if the other player wants the achievement just like I do, then we will need to get 5 stars a total of 352 times across those varying difficulties. And that is just brutal. Some of this doesn't necessarily sound difficult, but it just sounds so incredibly tedious and uninteresting, while also having moments where it will be incredibly difficult, like the expert playthroughs. That is going to be ridiculous to get 5 stars on every song. And this doesn't even begin to mention some of the other difficult achievements this game has that are just for the single player. But truly, the co-op achievements are my main barrier to complete this game. The only potential way I could complete this game is if I play with my girlfriend. She isn't interested in achievements like I am, and she is pretty good at these kind of games, but I don't think I could put her through 176 runs of this game's songs. So I am honestly happy to say that I'm going to leave Guitar Hero 3 in the past where it belongs, at least at this moment in time. Next up, we've got Earth Defense Force Insect Armageddon. The thing about this game is, I remember it being fun, but the achievements are so demanding. Just as a general overview, this game's completion is estimated to be around 150 to 200 hours. That is goddamn insane. And looking at the achievements, we start to get a better look as to why this completion is estimated to take so much time. There are achievements like Who Ravages the Ravagers for killing 250,000 enemies, which seems like a steep ask, but looking at the gameplay for this game, it seems like it may not be the hardest achievement as you work towards some of the other achievements that you need to unlock for completion. There's obviously the achievement Infernal Master Destroyer Deluxe, which asks you to beat the game on Inferno. There are only 15 missions in the game to beat, but from what I can tell, it is an absolute ass whooping to head into Inferno unprepared. Gamers Online recommend you come in with fully upgraded armor and complete the game on all other difficulties before even attempting this mode. And look at this guide here, breaking down tips and tricks for how to get the best performance. It's so much work to complete this mode, and I don't know if I have it in me. And this isn't even the rarest achievement in the game. The rarest achievements in this game are Daddy Warbugs, Survivorama, and Lifer. The second of the three sounding like one hell of a grind, but the other two, looking at what is required, oh my god. Leveling up all of your armors completely looks like it requires around 4 million EXP, and the maximum amount of EXP you can get per match is 65.5 thousand if you're lucky. Apparently, it would take a minimum of 48 total sessions to level up all armors completely, and I believe that is after you make it to level 8. I may be mistaken here, but either way, this sounds like an insane grind to unlock the Lifer achievement just by itself. But this doesn't scare me as much as the Daddy Warbugs achievement, which apparently requires around 5 million credits to purchase every gun for all of the armors. The user that posted this information suggested that they played at least 200 matches over the course of 9 days, which just sounds so ridiculous to do after you completed everything else in the game. A 200 match grind for a single achievement is just insane work. But this game is honestly something I wish I could complete. I had a wonderful time playing it when I was a kid. I just don't think I have that patience in me anymore. For real, a 200 match grind after you already completed every single other achievement in the game is just ridiculous. I don't think I could put myself through that again. But following Earth Defense Force, let's move on to a game that I sincerely hope I can complete one day. Call of Duty 3. This game has the typical Call of Duty campaign achievements like complete the campaign missions, complete a mission by firing only assault rifles, bolt action rifles with only melee attacks, so on and so forth, and of course, completing it on veteran. This honestly sounds like a completion that would be awesome to have on my profile. I've completed so many of the old school Call of Duty games, and this is the only one left for me. But what is holding me back are the multiplayer achievements. Looking at my profile, I honestly completed a lot of the multiplayer achievements back in 2010. Holy shit, that was 15 years ago. Okay, that's crazy. But the white whale of this game is the general achievement. This achievement asks you to achieve 40,000 points in ranked matches. And legitimately, the only way to currently reach this rank is to boost. No way in hell are you legitimately getting to this rank in 2025. I don't know what the player base for this game looks like nowadays, but I can bet you the state of the COD 3 community is pretty dismal. To even start up a ranked match, you need to have a minimum of 8 players, so you better be ready to hunt down and gather players and make sure your schedules line up, or find a handful of dedicated players with multiple consoles to boost. Luckily, this game is backwards compatible, so technically, I could have my Xbox One, my 2 Xbox 360s, and my Xbox Series X, and I could fill up half of a lobby just by myself. The struggle here will be having enough monitors, copies of the game, and accounts to do so, but if I can fill up at least 3 spots in a lobby, that would make getting a full lobby much easier if I can just find 2 to 3 other gamers with a setup similar to mine. So now we've thought through everything, we can get ourselves a full lobby of 8 players if we have enough dedicated people, right? So we can actually begin boosting. Let's go ahead and talk about the main boosting method for this game. That was all the prep. We're moving on to the actual boosting method. You will need to search up Capture the Flag in Ranked and start up a match with all 8 boosting accounts. The method for boosting in this game is to have 1 player on each team go to the opposing team's flag and basically pick it up. Then you have the people on the enemy team stand right near the flag, and the player that picks up the flag throws it to them. If they are bundled up beside each other when the flag lands, everybody will get points for returning the flag to its original position. At least that's what it seems like to me if we are looking at the video that's on screen right now. So you basically have a flag thrower and catchers. The catchers get more points than the throwers, so to be fair, you need to make sure the same player isn't always the thrower. Like I said, the footage on screen should do a decent job of demonstrating this method. It's a very old video, but it just goes to show you how effective this method is. People have been grinding points in this game using this method since 2009. And that's kind of all there is to the method. You just need to keep grinding until you reach 40,000 points. People are saying you would normally get 1,000 to 1,500 points maximum. But apparently, if you cause your game to lag, this for some reason makes the grind so much easier. There are people reporting that they connected their console to a hotspot and managed to average around 2,000 to 4,000 points a match. So depending on circumstances, you are looking at playing somewhere between 20 to 40 matches to achieve the general rank. Honestly, this does not seem terrible, but it is just such a commitment to even think about doing this throwing and catching for such a ridiculous amount of games. Like I said, this is a completion I really want to get on my profile, so maybe I will go for this completion someday, but for right now, I'm happy to play games that I will actively enjoy. One day I'll sit down and get this done, just not anytime soon. And finally, we are moving on to the game I know 100% I will never complete. Skate. This game is one that is considered in theory as something I can technically complete, but the issue is it involves so much work. Now, to preface this entire discussion, I have unlocked only 5 achievements in this game. I played the game very sporadically during 2010, and if you look at this game's achievement list, There are a total of 17 achievements that are considered partially discontinued, and they are all online achievements. You see, this game's online services were closed on August 11th of 2011, meaning that you can no longer unlock any online achievements in this game. At least that would be the case if these achievements were completely discontinued, but they are considered partially discontinued. This is because there is a bug, one that many gamers, including myself, have been attempting to recreate. This bug basically has a chance of you unlocking a multitude of achievements after you unlock a single one. The video on screen is a good example of how this bug is performed. You need to open up the achievement right when it pops, and then there is a chance that you will unlock a number of achievements once you try to view the achievement by opening up the 360 guide. And that's the thing, it's only a chance of this happening. And guess what? This isn't even the worst of it. It appears that you need to have a Blades console, which is the earliest version of the Xbox 360, and you need to make sure it has not been updated to a newer software version, which means that anytime you are testing this, you cannot connect to Xbox Live at all, or else both your game and your console will update to the newest versions, which will void you having any chance at performing this bug. So technically, you kind of need to have two consoles that are similar to each other, one with blades, one that doesn't have blades that can connect to Xbox Live, and then you need to be able to swap their hard drives or something like that. I'm not even entirely sure. It is just so ridiculous having to go to an older version of the Xbox 360 to go and perform this bug. So I guess you can try your luck on finding a Blades console on eBay, but they are becoming more and more rare as time goes on. And remember, all of this information is theoretical. I have gathered this information from my own tests and from the True Achievements community that is also trying to unlock these online achievements. There is even an entire thread dedicated to recreating this bug in Skate. I've even tried my hand at participating and trying to test and research to find a solution, but I came up short. I'm waiting for the day that someone posts the solution to recreating this bug so I can give it a shot for myself. People have been trying to determine the solution to this for 12 years at this point, which is just insane. Everyone has theories, but nobody has determined a concrete method just yet. But considering I more than likely need to purchase myself an old Blades Xbox 360 just for an attempt at unlocking all of the achievements in this game, I think I am honestly just happy to wipe my hands clean and leave Skate in the past. But with all of these things considered, I think some of these games aren't completions I will write off entirely, since they are technically games that can be completed. I mean, I might go for them one day if I have the motivation. That's the hardest part, having the motivation. I even have these games physically in my possession, so I can literally complete them if I have the desire to. But right now, they are simply not worth the effort. There is such a wide ocean of new and old games which I have a desire to play. And at this point in time, some of these games sitting in my backlog feel like they would be more of a chore than a fun challenge, and I think that's okay. I may be a completionist, but I'm not a sadist. I want to enjoy the video games I play, so for now, the games I have mentioned in this video are those which I can confidently say I have zero issue never completing. These stains can remain on my profile, and I know that I'll be satisfied with all of the other completions I have achieved and will continue to achieve throughout my gaming career. Well, that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what your backlog looks like and if you're in the same boat as me with similar games. Literally, it seems that it is a trend for me that a commitment is just too much for me to have to complete a game. I am not willing to commit to some of these games, so that seems to be the trend, and you know, it makes sense. I'm not putting myself through all that. And also let me know if you want me to talk about some of the games in my backlog that are literally impossible to complete. I think that might make for an interesting video, but for now, that is all I have for you today. I really appreciate you watching this video until the end. I am streaming on Twitch and YouTube at Barely Complete, so check the links in the description or on screen right about now if you want to come stop by a stream and say what's up. Let me know you came from my backlog video. That would be pretty cool. All right, and with that, thanks again for watching. I shall see you in the next one.